All right, so our first official guest here is looking to bring in some crazy knowledge to the Star Wars division, and that is Mr. Thomas Harper. What's up?
Hello there. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Welcome. We were talking off screen, but you've been around the Schmoedown community a little bit last couple of days. How's it been so far?
It's been a whirlwind, but I will say the expectation that I had in terms of inclusiveness and how I would be welcomed just as a completely unknown rookie, except for the couple people that I know through other events, has just blown me away. Like, those expectations have been blown away. Everybody has been so nice, so welcoming. All the things that I've heard about the competition in terms of the community behind it have really come true in spades, and it's just been awesome. And I say that as somebody that's at the very bottom of the totem pole, and rightfully so. And so I think it's a character statement that somebody like me that has no street cred in terms of having not been on a single Schmoedown, to get welcomed like I have, to get invited onto your show and spend some time with you guys. I think that says a lot about you guys. It says a lot about the larger community, and that just makes me that much more excited.
That's awesome. Well, we usually ask this question. Oh, there we go.
There he is.
There we go.
There he is.
We usually
Star Wars what?
And
it's already begun. I do have a funny story about that.
Already begun.
Go ahead and send Alex the link, just in case.
Funny enough, I will say, so I'm sure we'll get into it, but when I first met or came across Alex and Molly, I was not much on YouTube. I didn't watch a whole lot. I had no clue that you guys did what you did. I just knew that both of you had this massive cheering section, that somehow with all the random 80,000 strangers at Dragon Con, you guys were popular enough, however, to cobble together this half the room every
Those
final.
Those are just our friends that we
wrangle
into the room, and we're like, go nuts, it'll be great. And
I was just like, man, I don't have any friend. My wife would be in the crowd like, woo, you.
Those are the best kinds, though. Just the one. Woo.
Yeah, and I'm like, you got to get those decibel, those rookie decibel numbers. You got to get that loudness up. But then I found out that the YouTube page and all of that and all the great things that you guys do in the community, and I immediately ate my shoe. I was like, that's why. Okay, whether they're friends or fans, they're well earned either way.
Honestly, it was mostly just our friends, and it's become tradition to see how far we can push Daniel before he's just like, get out. Daniel is who runs and puts together the Dragon Con.
He hosted it this year, right? Over virtual?
He does it every year.
Okay.
He makes the trivia. So
Cool.
We like to press his buttons.
Molly, does that mean you have a certain little section in the crowd that's just Slave Leia costume?
Just all the Slave Leias are just.
They usually wait till later in the night to put that on.
That would be a good tactic, though, because I feel like that would throw off a lot of people.
Yeah.
No matter who is wearing the costume, what gender they are, it would have an effect.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right, so we usually have, obviously, people who are involved in the league already on this show, and we always start with one question. I feel like I can ask the same exact question to you, but what is it about the Schmoedown that wants to get you involved, or that you want to get involved in this trivia league community? Is it the sport aspect? Is it just the trivia? Is it all of it?
I will say, Molly can attest to this. I have been bugging at least Alex for years now, in his ear, in his DMs, to get in Christian's ear, to at least give me a shot in this. I love the community that exists out there, and the more I learn about it, the more excited I get. But I just I love the trivia aspect. I love the competitiveness. I love the fact that it's a strategic league. You've got teams of like-minded folks, but they're in a horse race of sorts against each other, and it's the nerdiest possible thing, and I absolutely love it. And I didn't grab it to hold it up as a show and tell, but way back when I was 10, 11, there was a Star Wars collectible card game by a company called Decipher before Wizards of the Coast got the license. And I played this card game when most people, like most other kids my age, were playing like Pokemon and Magic and stuff. And so I didn't always have like money to buy cards or folks to play with. So I would soak all the cards. If you ever like Google them, the Star Wars CCG have like a little bit of flavor text at the top. And it's always like a little bit of facts about the character or the weapon. And I would just sit there and read those cards. It like sounds kind of sad, but I would just like wait for other Star Wars players to kind of mull into the shop. And I would just like soak up this knowledge. And I didn't have money to buy cards often. So, you know, if I didn't have a card to trade, I literally created, this is going to sound like such a bratty thing to do, because it absolutely was. I created a 5-level quiz that I would challenge people to. And if they could make it through it, I would give them one of like a card of their choice out of my trade binder. But if they failed, I either got money, so they had to put up a couple bucks, and like $2 as a 10-year-old is like $500 now, or I got a card out of their trading, and you put the card on the line at the start. So this was like full on Vegas type stuff. And so,
Oh my God.
and I still have all my cards. They're scattered all around me, but I also have that bratty quiz that I have. And there's a ranking system at the end. So like Star Wars trivia has been like in my blood for a long time, from like being like a obnoxious jackass as a 10-year-old until being an obnoxious like 30-something-year-old, I guess now. So the chance to do that during the year, Dragon Con's always been fun. The chance to do that on the Schmoedown's awesome.
That's awesome.
I need to see this quiz that you wrote up. Like, I need
I'll tweet. It's
please
embarrassing. And
no, I'm so obsessed with this right now.
There you go.
I do too, Alex. Same. I want to take this card quiz.
The term true fan is so loaded right now, but I will go ahead and fully admit that in the rating system at the end that I devised, where it's like, if you get 0 to 1, 0 to 3 questions right, you're Bantha Poodoo. But again and again, for the lower like ratings, it's like, you're not a true fan. And I look back, I'm like, I want to hop in a time machine and slap my 10-year-old self. Like, what are you thinking, man? Come on. Not the way to make friends.
There you go.
You got cards out of it, though.
Yeah, I was
so.
gonna say, but you did get cards out of it.
I did get a few. Yeah, like gatekeeping my way into like meager prizes, I guess.
Brian, I'll start with you. Do you have anything you want to ask Thomas?
Flat out, right off the gate, what's your favorite of the Star Wars movies?
So as a kid growing up, it was Jedi 1000%. Like, you cannot beat the Battle of Endor. And if I've got 15 minutes, I will just put that on. Now with Disney Plus, it's easy to just queue it right up. I found as an adult, I gravitate a lot more towards Empire. And, so those will just always have a special place in my heart. That said, I look at like movie rankings for Star Wars, and I see it more in terms of like, if I've got an hour and a half to spend watching something, what Star Wars movie am I more likely to put on? Jedi and Empire right at the top of the list, and then I sort of rank order them from there. So it's not like the bottom the last movie is one that I just hate. It's just one that I might not get around to watching, but a couple times a year.
Fair enough.
We do have a question from a comment here, Brian, and I want to make sure I get to this. Is there a specific competitor that's already in the league that you would like to debut against?
Well, I'm not going to kid myself. I told you guys this before the show, but I'm fully aware. I need to get drafted first. So there's sort of that bar to entry. And so I hope that a manager out there that's watching this sees something in me that warrants a pickup there during the draft. But I don't kid myself that at the bottom of the totem pole, you got to work your way up before you face off against somebody like Molly or Alex. I get the honor of facing off against them every year. At least we all subject ourselves at Dragon Con to that quiz, and more often than not, the three of us are in the finals. So obviously that's going after the title is the end goal. But I think I love Laura Kelly, and she's a great person. She's a great competitor, but strength recognizes strength, and she's out there gunslinging, and I have a hell of a lot of respect for the talent that she brings to the table. but I want to face off against her. So whenever that opportunity arises, if I earn it, I'll be happy to do it.
I love it.
I'm terrified too. So when we did that celebration match, that was her debut, and she blew me away. Like that ended, and I was like, "Holy crap!" Like we're all really in big trouble.
She's really good.
Jill, did you have anything you wanted to ask?
I do. I want to save it for the end. I'm trying to think. I have.
Oh, that's right. That's right. My bad. Molly.
That's fine. I was like, I could
that's right. Sorry. Molly, do you have anything?
I do have a question though.
Okay, fair enough.
Where can I get that choking out Darth Vader statue? Because
I love it.
I'm obsessed with that.
If my house were burning down
Explain
and my
whole background to me, please, because I just want the.
Y'all can come join me. I have a big old kitchen table that I sit at here, and so no, if my house were burning down and you're like, Thomas, you can go in and save one Star Wars collectible, I would run in and save that stupid little statue there. It's the first. If you've bought any like it's a sideshow statue from. A number of years ago. If you've like bought anything or like fallen down that rabbit hole, you know exactly how addictive that stuff is. Like Hot Toys.
Look at the guy above you, because that's exactly what you're talking about.
It is
I've got my Ahsoka. I've got my Hot Toys Mando back here.
You guys know that was the gateway drug. There was the Vader choking Antilles. So that's been with me through. Like I was on active duty in the Army for a while. And that survived like multiple military moves. It survived my deployment and getting put into storage for a year. So that thing's been through a lot with me, and I would gladly run back in during a fire to save it.
I will say for you Schmoedown managers, who other player on the league has a statue of someone choking someone in the background?
True.
There you go. That's all you need to know. Molly, do you have anything you want to ask Thomas?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, a ton of Star Wars trivia, and to compete in Dragon Con trivia, you have to know the really just bonkers, silly stuff. What do you have like a favorite piece of trivia that you've come across in all of your time of being a Star Wars nerd that you're just like, I really hope I get asked this question one day?
I feel like that's a really great question. I feel like if you've interacted with me at all on Twitter, and I say you like writ large to the audience, and you guys, how big of a Y-Wing fan that I am. And I would love...
That's my favorite shit. And everyone gives me shit for it.
No, you and I just became best friends. So, you're welcome at my old kitchen table here. So, no, I would love like any Y-Wing related trivia. I think it's awesome. Like the bit of trivia, everybody knows Wedge Antilles survive and Luke obviously survive the Death Star run. I don't know that this would qualify necessarily for Schmoedown because it kind of crosses the boundary into some non-film stuff, but naming the Y-Wing pilot that survives and the designation of that Y-Wing pilot, which member of Gold Squadron that was. I think that's it. That character is awesome. Yvonne Verlaine. Look, I didn't come on here to take abuse.
It's just funny because he's sitting in the other room behind Molly, commenting these.
He's in here just like
in the dark, like Gollum style.
Yeah.
Like the Emperor. He's just watching.
No, yeah, like anything like that. My greatest fear is that you get a question like that and then you freeze on it, or it's something you don't know, and then like not only do you get it wrong, but like you're like, my whole life is a lie. So
PJ,
I say that with my fingers crossed.
PJ's sitting right now watching this like, oh, I'm gonna stump him.
That's right.
I do have another question, and I will. Alex actually texted me to remind me about this, but I see the San Diego Comic-Con thing back there. Yeah. Tell us about the mock trial.
Yeah, so I got involved with a group called the Legal Geeks, and gonna keep distracting me. It's a podcast that also does con appearances, and it's also a blog as well, so you can read some of our written stuff. But we take a look at legal issues in pop culture, and I exclusively do Star Wars. I'm a military lawyer by trade, JAG officer. And so it's stuff like, could the Mandalorian legally go out and kill bounties? Is like a dead or alive bounty a lawful thing? Can he legally adopt Grogu at a certain point in the Mandalorian? Cool. Yeah, so it's like weird. It's like really kind of odd stuff that you're probably thinking about. Like a great example, we did a mock trial at WonderCon, the sort of sister con to Comic-Con, about whether C-3PO and R2 were discriminated against when they got thrown out of the cantina in A New Hope. And so this mock trial, this was 2018, we court-martialed Poe Dameron. So we had a full-on mock court-martial, like all the rules of an actual court-martial got brought in. I was a prosecutor. Everybody involved, with the exception of our witnesses, was not only the witnesses were in cosplay too. So we were Republic officers, or resistance officers, I should say. We had attorneys, both as defense counsel for Poe, and I was one of the prosecutors. We had an actual federal judge presiding over it, like hearing actual objections. I stood up. There was a panel right before us, and Comic-Con does not clear out the room between panels, so a lot of people were kind of sitting there. And I got up to the mic during the Q&A of the panel, and I just said, look, I'm going to raise an objection because it seems like there are a lot of Poe Dameron fans in this jury, and that's just bias. Like, the resistance won't stand for this sort of thing. So we court-martialed him for disobeying Leia's order to break off the engagement above Dakar at the beginning of The Last Jedi. And it was a lot of fun. If you haven't seen it, Google Poe Dameron court-martial, you'll find it. It's just fun top to bottom. The two cosplayers that we have, one playing Poe and the other playing Leia, are just phenomenal. They blow the rest of us out of the water. They're in character. They were in character the whole day, quite frankly, and they just carry the show. It's just awesome. The judge lets the audience decide. It was a surprising verdict as far as I'm concerned. And then he renders a judgment. He hands down a sentence at the end, which is a lot of fun. And I probably spoiled the verdict there, but
it's so good, guys. Check it out.
It's a lot of fun.
I'm intrigued. I'm very
cool.
Yeah.
All right, Jill, before we get to you, because we will have to wrap up here in the next 5 to 8 minutes or so, I do have a Streamlabs that did come through. This came from Dragon17, and he or she had said, Molly and Alex, Thomas seemed very confident yesterday. I think he feels he will beat both of you. I hope that gives you two motivation to study even harder.
You know what? Our whole lives are studying. Whatever happens, happens.
I feel like it's like a sweet release. If it ever happens, it's like, oh, thank God. Like,
I mean,
oh no.
There he is.
Go back to your cave.
All right, Jill, do you want to go ahead and fire some things off right now?
I do. It's only one simple question, but I think all the rookies, if they want to be in this division, they should be able to do it. We're going to test a little bit of improv skills here. Let's say that your first match, you're drafted, your first match in the Star Wars division is against Joseph Scrimshaw. I want you to drop a promo.
I would hate you if you did this to me, by the way. Just so you know. I would hate you.
I'll be Joseph and I'll just stroke my beard.
There we go.
And be
Joseph,
very wise.
I know you've seen Rogue One, and what I want you to know about this match is that you're the rebel trooper there on the Profundity at the end, at the Battle of Scarif. I'm Darth Vader coming through with my boarding party. But what's not going to be available to you is Leia. What's not going to be available to you is the Tantive V4. And what's not going to be available to you is any escape. So I hope you're ready for this. You can go ahead and lay down your blaster now. Let's get started.
I have chills.
Bravo. All right. Well, before we get out of here, we always end the show or end our segment with our guests with one simple question for POV, and that is, what is your favorite movie snack and your favorite candy?
Man, I will put away an entire bucket of popcorn. I cannot watch. I could eat dinner right before the movie. Like I could go to a theater that serves like a full menu and eat a full dinner, and I will still order a bucket of popcorn and somehow put it away. And I used to, back in my college days, I would go to the movies. I would order the bucket of popcorn and then 2 of the big boxes of cookie dough bites. And those things are still, that's like the one ring that's out there that's so tempting to me. I look at them in the glass there and I'm like, man, I would like to go back to those days. I would house the popcorn, and then both of those cookie dough bites would be gone, and I'd be left wondering how and why. So. But that's it. And that's what I look forward to. Everybody's like, I don't know if I'll go back to the theater after COVID. I'm like, I will be first in line when it's safe to go, because
I need those bites.
I know. Orville Redenbacher does not cut it. I'm sorry.
That's fair. Do you have a favorite candy?
I will. Well, peanut butter M&Ms, if they're available. I will put an industrial size tub of those away as well.
Awesome. We can't thank you enough for stopping by and hanging out with us.
Thank you, guys.
We really looking forward to the draft here in the next couple weeks and seeing your name called. I know that a lot of people are looking forward to seeing you compete this year in the Schmoedown. So good luck on everything.
Thanks for the opportunity. Thanks for having me.
Yes. All right.
See you, everybody.
See ya.
Whew. All right. First one out of the way. We have a couple more coming very shortly. I know Christina is waiting in the background. What do you guys think so far? Thomas Harper. I know, Molly, that you know him, but chances in the Schmoedown this upcoming season.
Good.
Chances like getting in or
getting drafted, playing, competing.
I mean, I think everyone has a good of a chance as everyone else. I have no idea. I don't know people well enough, but I like him. I dig it. I'd love to see him play a few people.
Yeah, I mean, all the people in the draft from DragonCon have beaten Alex at one point or another in DragonCon trivia. So there's your proof that he can be beaten.
He also seems like he knows Schmoedown, which for me is a big thing. Like,
yeah.
I don't want you to come here. I don't want you to come in here to hype your YouTube channel. I don't want you to come in to do any of that stuff. I want you to know Schmoedown.
Yeah. Schmoedown. Seems like he's doing some research. That's good.
Yeah, which is great. I'm very